Good morning, friends. Thank you so much for joining our story time circle today. We've really missed you and being in person at church, but I hope that you're watching these videos and really enjoying our stories and answering our wondering questions together. So we're going to start our circle time together by lighting our chalice. Do you have a chalice at home? If not, that's okay. You can light one in your heart or in your hand. So here's my chalice. Looks like a snowball. Reminds me of the snow we had last week. That makes me happy. So I'm gonna light my candle. There it is. And we'll say our chalice lighting words together. We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. Ours is a community of open minds. Ours is a community of helping hands. Ours is a community of loving hearts. Excellent. I see each of that in you. Helping hands and loving hearts and open minds. And now we're going to ring our chime to get our ears ready for our story. Remember, when we ring our chime, we close our eyes so we can be good listeners, and we raise our hand. And when you can't hear it anymore, we can put our hand down and open our eyes, and we'll be ready for our story. That was a long one. Could you hear it over the video? Sometimes that can be tricky. I forgot we're also going to sing a song this morning so our ears can hear that as well. It's called Love Surrounds Me. Do you remember singing this before? If you don't know the words, that's okay. You can listen and sing next time. Love surrounds me, this I know, for my spirit tells me so. All of us to love belong. It fills our hearts and makes us strong. Yes, love surrounds me. Yes, love surrounds me. Yes, love surrounds me. My spirit tells me so. Great. Do you remember hearing that song before? If not, that's okay. You might hear it again soon. Now we're going to get ready for our story. So today we're going to hear a story about our violet principle. Violet is kind of like a purple color. I'm actually wearing violet today. Isn't that neat? So our violet principle reminds us, that's the one that reminds us to take care of the earth. So we're going to be hearing a story about that today. Unitarian Universalists believe that we should take care of the earth and use its resources wisely. Resources are things like water and soil and food and wood, all of the things that our planet grows that we should take care of. Let's see. It's just about everything in this room. Do you have any plants in your room? That's our resource. Is your table made of wood or your tablecloth made of cotton? Those are both resources. So we're going to hear a story about a resource, a person that uses resources well today. Okay. So our story is about a man who uses his resources wisely. So let's take a look. I'm going to get our story ready. So here's our underlay. Isn't that funny? It's the same color as my shirt. I promise I didn't even plan that. Okay. In a village, there lived a poor tailor. A tailor is a person that makes clothes. He had made overcoats for many people, and although he wanted to make an overcoat for himself, he didn't have the money to do that. fabric is expensive. So the reason he hadn't done that is because he never had enough money to buy the things for himself. Whenever he bought cloth or fabric, he had to use it for his clients to make their coats. But he saved and saved, coin by coin, until at last he saved enough money. He hurried out and bought fabric for himself. So here's the beautiful fabric that he bought. Do you like this fabric? I like this fabric. He cut the cloth very carefully so as not to waste any of the material. He sewed the pieces into an overcoat, and it fit him perfectly. The tailor was proud of his coat. He wore it whenever he could, even when it wasn't really that cold out. He wore it until it was all worn out. And then he looked closely at the jacket and he saw there was just enough good material left to make a smaller jacket. So he cut up the coat and made a jacket. It fit him wonderfully, just as his overcoat did. And he could wear it even more often because it wasn't as hot. He wore it until it was all worn out. And when he looked at it closely, he could see that there was just enough material left to make a vest. So he cut up the jacket and he made a vest. He looked very distinguished in his vest, don't you think? Distinguished means kind of fancy. He wore it every single day until it was all worn out. And then he looked at his vest and thought there was just enough material there to make a cap. We don't want it covering his eyes, do we? The cap fit his head perfectly, not too tight to give him a headache, and not too loose to blow off in the wind. He wore his cap every single day, indoors and out, until it was all worn out. But when he looked closely at the cap, he saw that there was just enough good material left to make a button. And I actually dropped the button on the floor. Do you ever drop things? I drop things a lot. But that's okay, because here it is. It was a good, sturdy button. He wore it every day until it was all worn out. But when he looked closely at his button, he saw there was just enough good material left to make a story. So he made a story out of it, and I just told it to you. And that's the end of our story. I wonder, which garment the tailor made did you like best? I wonder what it was like for the tailor to make beautiful clothes for himself instead of somebody else. I wonder what this story has to do with your life. I wonder if you've ever heard the word recycle. And what does that mean to you? I wonder what recycle meant to the tailor. I wonder if you've ever made something out of pieces left over from something else. I wonder if you liked this story. Well, I hope you did. I enjoyed it quite a lot. We recycle a lot of things at our house and make things out of pieces left from other projects. And now it's time for our joys and concerns. Did you have something really great happen to you this week that you're thinking about now? Maybe something that wasn't so great? My joy for the week is I got to see the people I work with in person. That made me happy because we haven't seen each other for a while. My concern is that I have a lot of work to do now. Do you ever feel like you have a lot of work to do too? Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I hope you have a great week. Hopefully we'll see you next week too. Bye-bye, friends.